Hi, this is Neil, and I'm partnering with the great HPEC today to bring you the Surfactant Insights Podcast. I was asked the other day about recent US anti-dumping duty petitions covering fatty acids, and so this podcast is intended to convey what I know. On January the 28th of this year, Vantage Specialty Chemicals filed parallel anti-dumping and countervailing duty petitions against imports of certain fatty acids from Indonesia and Malaysia, alleging anti-dumping margins of 20.08 to 70.03% for Indonesia and 64.67 to 94.41% for Malaysia, plus subsidization, including alleged Chinese transnational subsidies. Initial industry support fell below the 50% threshold, so the Department of Commerce extended the initiation deadline by 20 days and polled all known US producers on February the 13th, 26. Polling results met both the 25% and greater than 50% statutory thresholds. Now, fatty acids covered by the petitions are those with chain lengths from C6 to C18, iodine values below 105 grams per 100 grams, and a degree of split of at least 97%. Named acids in the petitions include stearic, oleic, and mixed cut blended forms of fatty acids made from coconut, hardened coconut, topped coconut, palm kernel, and the hardened and topped varieties, palm stearin, palm distillate, and palm olein. Now, that's the fatty acids made from those inputs, not the inputs themselves. Specifically excluded from the petitions are 1. Fatty acids containing greater than or equal to 90% by weight of C6, C8, or C10 chains, or any combination thereof. And 2. Mixtures with non-fatty acid materials where the fatty acid component is less than 80% of the total mixture weight. In the filings and the accompanying press release, Vantage claimed that imports from Indonesia and Malaysia more than doubled in the last 4 years, reaching 434.9 million kilograms in 2024 versus 343.5 million kilograms in 22. They also note in the petition U.S. imports of the listed acids from Indonesia and Malaysia totaled $548.728 million from November 24 through October 25. Interestingly, the Department of Commerce recalculated the anti-dumping margins as follows. Indonesia 18.38 to 69.56%, Malaysia 59.56 to 170.49%. The Malaysia upper bound there exceeds the petition figure. The department has also initiated investigation of 16 Indonesian programs and 18 Malaysian programs. The current status is that on April the 29th of this year, the Department of Commerce postponed preliminary countervailing duty determinations from May the 13th to the 130-day statutory maximum, so that's around July the 17th of 26. They cited pending respondent questionnaires. The Vantage petition identified 23 Indonesian and 16 Malaysian producers and exporters of fatty acids in the exhibits. The Commerce Department's mandatory respondent selection was completed by mid-April 26, but the names in that selection were not listed publicly. It is likely, however, that they are the large Malaysian and Indonesian integrated plantation companies that we are all very familiar with. That is, companies like KLK, Wilmar, Musimas, Apical, IOI, etc. Interestingly, the two big relevant trade associations in this area, the ACI and the PCPC, have made no public comments on the matter that I have seen. So, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I don't know, and I won't be betting on Polymarkets either. However, there are a few broad scenarios as follows. If the Department of Commerce preliminary anti-dumping rates come in below 15%, downstream cost pass-throughs will be modest and supply continuity certainly manageable. If the rates come in above 50% for either country, expect significant U.S. price increases and reshoring and substitution activities involving domestic fatty acid producers like P&G Chemicals, Emery, Twin Rivers, etc., plus diversion attempts via Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, and maybe India. I do expect that the anti-circumvention provisions embedded in the scope will definitely be tested early. Finally, if the U.S. International Trade Commission final vote on the matter is negative, that is, no material injury, all duties and cash deposits are refunded. This is highly unlikely, given an earlier unanimous 3-0 preliminary affirmative determination. Now, as we all know, fatty acids are a key component in many common household cleaning products and soaps, plus a huge variety of industrial products. If price increases of the type noted are implemented, my expectation is one of clear demand destruction in the consumer market, given the already dramatic stress that the American consumer is facing with the effects of the Iran war. It will be interesting to see if and when U.S. purchasers of fatty acids and trade associations, not just ACI and PCPC, but maybe also SOCMA, for example, comment publicly on this matter. So, interesting times. Let's check in at the end of July for the preliminary determinations by the Department of Commerce. I hope you found this useful, and as always, thanks again for listening.